pick it up now. I've gone and I'm going to show you, I've got a bit of a script file, and so to figure out where we're going to do the script file, we're going to do an ID on a point here at near. I'm just going to pick an arbitrary point near to that point there. That's where we're going to start. There's our information. You can do a lot of cutting and pasting if you want, so I'm going to go ahead and get into Notepad here and show you what a horizontal alignment file can be. If you kind of go back and look, I've got some scripts in here. You got to know it's only going to want to look at the SCR files. I've got a horizontal alignment kind of pre-done here. I'm going to open that, and that's what the script file will look like. What I'm going to do here, more or less, it's done by calls, by X's and Y's. I'm going to go right-click, copy, go over here. Somehow I've lost my Notepad here. I'm going to go ahead and edit, paste. I got the northing, and I'll go ahead and get the, I'm sorry, I got the easting, and then I'll go ahead and get the northing. Right-click, copy, go back to here, and edit, paste, and I just kind of just thrown in then 300 feet south, 500 feet more or less east, 500 foot south, and then 300 west, and that's can go on and on and on for quite a while without curves. I'm going to go ahead and file, save that, and now I want to make sure I'm in the right layer, Z constraints, and I can then say script. And you're going to know it's going to only get to script files, so you're going to need to go to the scripts here, and you notice it's only going to find scripts. So it must, this program forces you to get SCR, or as I'm aligned here, I hit O there and I brought that in. So I brought in this alignment here. Not too bad. I guess I'm going right into the building, but we'll survive. That's all I'm going to do right now. I brought that far in. Well, I really, man, we want to draft a little bit farther than that. I want to go and going to kind of go up over the building. For me, that's going to be reasonable for this project, and so I'm going to go ahead now and do some p-edit. I'm sorry, I'm going to do fillet, radius 200, just to show you that that's basically the process you go through here. Fillet there to there, fillet from there to there, and fillet from there to there. And so I've got basically an alignment here. Now you put the alignment together with p-edit, select J, yes, J for join, and the alignment ends right there. I would list that, and if this actually is a good alignment, I might do this at this point. I've got alignment, I like it. I might say W block or W block. I might go ahead and select my objects and tell it where I'm going to send it. In this case, I want to send it, same thing, and to keep kind of keeping track of where things are going. So C users, this is a great reason to map a drive, so you don't have to keep going through this and set certain things up. Final review, I'll go ahead and stick it in here in a directory called backups eventually, and I am going to call this H-align drawing. And I'm going to go ahead and save, and I'm going to grab my objects here. Everything, keep it at 0, 0, everything, and hit OK there. Yes, and off it went. It did a right block of that. So we have an alignment now. We do not have alignment defined yet. That is the first step in the design process. But in all reality, at this point, we could go ahead and bring in some boxes, even if this is what we had locked down. So we could go ahead and do and make a new layer called Z underscore views. Double click here. Remembering that we might want to know what our box is, we could probably go ahead right now and do rectangle from a point and then at 600 comma 170. Though you could use the view frames here in a little bit. You can rotate that sheet here, right, as you might want to see as you go through, depending on what's going on with the sheet, move it around. You know, you can notice that somehow that sometimes, depending on how curvy your road is, you may or may not get the 600 feet in. that you want. So you're going to kind of move that around. And in essence, you only get 300 feet. So you might have another box, copy here along, and you're going to go ahead and change these later perhaps. And then you're going to rotate. I'm sorry, you can go ahead and copy, and you can do this at any point in the process, but sooner or later you're going to learn to use that. You're going to learn to use views like your life depended on it, because in fact it's not a life thing, but it's a good idea to lay views out right away and have them defined. So process now is, we'll compare what happens when you use the view frame generator, but I could go through now, remembering now to start using Layer Manager. I'm going to bring those three views, even though I haven't kind of sussed them. I'll show you this process now so we can finish it out. L-man, I like the layers the way they are. I can say new. I'm going to say all on December 16th. I can hit OK here. Basically, close. What I would like to do at some point is to be able to isolate a layer. I isolate that layer so I can lay out two views. I can do out views by this. UCS, new, 3-point, shift right click, endpoint of here, endpoint of here, endpoint of here. Plan, zoom, center, 0, 0, 100 for a height, minus view, window, view name to save is sheet 1 plan, from 0, 0 to at 600, 170. It is saved. That view is saved. Since the next one is in the same kind of coordinate system, I can say minus V for view. Window, sheet 2 profile plan. First corner, shift right click, because these are all lined up. I can go from the endpoint there to the endpoint there. I don't recommend doing this directly, but you could then just say UCS new 3-point from the endpoint here to the endpoint there to the endpoint there. Remember, we use point filters sometimes, and we can say plan, zoom center, 100, I'm sorry, 0, 0, 100, and you see once again, minus V, window, sheet 3 plan, from 0, 0, at 600, 170. You now have three views defined that quickly. The reason why it went quickly is because you got rid of all the stuff. Now you can do UCS world plan, and you can look L-man, and you can set it back to the way it was before. But now, as Jim likes to show, you can go here for your views, and you have different views set up here. Sheet 1 plan, sheet 2 plan, and sheet 3 plan. You've got three views completely set up. They're all good. UCS world, and eventually you'll know where they are. Plan. You've gone through that process. You've written block, maybe your alignment out. Now finally you're back to the design process in Civil3d, which will go again quickly at 8:42. We're going to create alignment from objects. We're going to grab the alignment. We're going to hit a space bar or a return. We're going to enter the accept it. We're going to give it a name. We're not going to make it arbitrary. 9999 December 16th underscore center line. We're going to begin at a station that we know the station of. You know, you can basically 1000, you can put in your design criteria here if you want it to be checking stuff, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add, we don't have to add curves between the tangents. We hit OK there. The alignment is made. The next step is to go ahead and create a surface profile. From there, you're going to get it from Xtopo. You're going to add that. You realize this is going to just grab some settings. I don't like to hit draw on profile view, so I'm just going to say OK. It's going to give you an error here that says you've got the profile, but it's not stored in a profile view. We're at 941. The last step is you were getting at 1000. You can go ahead and create a profile view. You're proactive about 1000. You're proactive about the height, 1010. You're going to change this later. You're going to create a profile view at 1000, comma, 1010 0. Zoom center 1000, comma, 1010 0. And you're probably a little bit off. Zoom E. Didn't come in. We'll check it in a little bit. Maybe all your layers need to be on. Minus layer. Thaw, star, on, star. We'll check it in a little bit.